This year is, like I talked at the Region 4, is a important, if not the most important election ever. And we say that all the time. I know we do. Every election is the most important election. I believe this one, when it comes to working families, union and non-union, the middle class, if this goes wrong, we are all going to suffer, like we have never suffered before in our lifetimes. If you look at what's going on in the states, including Michigan, where Michigan's just picking apart piece by piece the right to bargain collectively, the right of the middle class to earn a living wage, where Wisconsin did it in one swoop. If they take the White House, and I'm not talking R's and D's, if people that aren't in favor of collective bargaining, aren't in favor of you being able to make a living wage, aren't in favor of you being able to better yourself, and they want to suppress you, if those people get elected, God help us. Because we are going to see a takeover of this country like we've never seen before. I personally believe that. Whether you believe it or not, I mean, you got to make your own decisions. We have the wrong people in place. If they take the White House, if they take the White House, they're going to take the Senate. That's pretty much a given. Then they'll have the Senate, the House, and the White House. And they will have free reign to do whatever the hell they want. And national right to work, I believe, will happen. It won't be state by state. There'll be a national right to work. Collective bargaining and unions as we see it today will not look anything like they do today. If we think that bargaining has been tough in the last 5 years, hang on. When your contracts come up, it'll be like we have never seen before. Bargaining today is tough enough. Everything is under attack. You know that. Just look at the contracts that have been going on. Look what's happened in New York. Look what happened just outside of Boston. A nuclear plant. They lock them out. When have you ever heard of a nuclear plant getting locked out? We had 240 members locked out for a month. Did we improve the contract? Sure, we improved the contract. But they were locked out for a month without pay. They didn't go on strike. They just got locked out. Local 1-2, about 8,000 of our members in the city of New York, locked out 4 weeks. What's on the table? Same thing that's on the table every time. Health care, pensions, wages. Con Ed wanted those 8,000 members to pay up to $800 a month for their health care. That's what they got locked out over. Are they going to wind up paying more for their health care in the future? Yep, they are. I believe it's a 4-year contract. At the last year of the contract, they're going to be paying, I think, $85 a week. It's 80 or 85 bucks a week. Is that a tall ticket? Yeah, it is. $2 an hour. But it's a long ways from $800 a month. Did they make improvements? Yeah, they got 2% wage increases in their wages, and they got a 1% lump sum, so it equals 3% the first year, 2.5% the second year with a 0.5% lump, and then they got 3% the next 2 years. It wound up being a decent contract. I mean, they got some good language on replacement of workers for attrition. The company can't just attrit people out and not replace any of them. They have to replace 75% of any. If 100 people retire, they have to replace a minimum of 75 of them. That's language that we don't see in any contract in our group, and I don't know of it anywhere in the country. So it's good language. They did some really good things. But are they tough negotiations? Are they all playing from the same playbook, these companies? Yes, they are. They've got an agenda to destroy us. They've got an agenda to weaken our membership, to turn our members against us. People say, well, what has President Obama done for us? Has he done everything that we wanted him to do? Absolutely not. But you look in your own local, and I said this at the Region 4, you'll probably find somebody that didn't agree with the decision that you made somewhere along the line. So are we going to agree with everything that any of our leaders do? every time? No, and we shouldn't. Because if we always agree, then only one person's thinking. So there's got to be disagreement. There's got to be things that someone does because they think it's a better idea. But if you look at the accomplishments, equal pay for women. If you're not in a union, women in this country make 75 cents on every dollar that a man makes. That's not right. Nobody should be paid less for the same work. No one should get less benefits for the same work. We have things going on in this country, an undertone of things going on in this country that we can't let continue. Just look at, if we can just get our members to look at what the candidate is going to do, what they stand for, they will vote, well, what at least I believe is the right way, probably at least 80% of the time. And that's what we need to do. We need to get them to vote based on what they're going to do. Now, I know we've got a lot of members out there that are all millionaires in training. But there's only a few of them that are going to make it there. And the ones that don't, they're going to be poverty-stricken. Because I believe that's what this new wave of the right wing is going to do to us. We can't let it happen. There's a lot of ballot initiatives on. There's some real critical ones to labor. Protect our jobs. That's an all-in. If you're a poker player, we're all in on this. If that fails, the state of Michigan's got a Republican governor, Republican House, Republican Senate. If that ballot initiative fails, they're going to say the people of Michigan have spoke. They're against collective bargaining, and let's wipe it out. And they've got the votes to do it because they have a supermajority. They can push anything through with no blocking of any of us. That's an all-in proposal. We've got to make sure our members vote and vote the right way on that. We have to protect our jobs and our right to collectively bargain, and the right for anybody that is not in a union to have the right to freely join a union. We can't let that one fail. Pat spoke about the 25 by 25, and I think Jim will probably talk on that a little bit. 25% renewable energy by the year 2025. That will be bad for us. That will be real bad for us. Put up the wind farms. Look at the wind farms that consumers and DTE have put up. Try to organize those groups. The manufacturers of the windmills. In order for their warranty to be good, they have to be serviced by who? If it's John Deere, it's got to be serviced by John Deere. They say, well, if you get someone through our school and they're qualified by us, then the warranty will be good. We tried to get openings in their school. They have just enough openings for their employees. So guess what? The companies are all buying extended warranties, 5-year, 10-year, whatever, and they all have to be serviced by the companies or the warranties are good. To try to go into that market has been very difficult across the country. We've tried in Michigan, we've tried in Wyoming, we've tried in a number of states. It is a tough nut to crack. Put up 1,000 windmills, 1,500 megawatts. Probably takes maybe 100 people to run that and maintain it. Put up 1,500 megawatts worth of coal. 800? Big difference. A study that Pat found out of Europe found that because Europe has done renewables and have been pushing renewables a lot longer than the United States has, the study found that at the end of the day, for every one job that was created in Europe by renewable energy, 2.3 jobs were destroyed. I don't think Michigan can afford that. We're just starting to come back. People sitting in this room can't afford that. That's a ballot initiative that cannot pass. We got to vote no on that one. We just have to. At the end of the day, I think we're going to do the right thing as a country. I think we're going to elect the people that are going to be friendly to labor, to the middle class, that are going to continue to give breaks and cuts in taxes to the middle class, and hopefully get the 1% or even the 5% or the 10% to pay their fair share. A person that makes 25 million or 5 million or 1 million that pays 15% or 14% or 0% in taxes, where you're paying 35 to 40% in taxes, I don't think that's fair. I'm going to end on that. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you. I look forward to speaking to you throughout the day at any time. Not to interrupt Pat, but